Imagine this, the perfect house pops up, you're touring it, picturing your life there, but then you find out that your offer won't work because of some little money detail that you didn't know about. That's what happens when you're not prepared for home shopping and you just stumble into the process. Before you fall in love with the paint color, the front door, the garden, the floor plans, or a backyard that will host the perfect summer barbecue, spend a moment on the financials. In the next few minutes, I'm going to help you launch your home search from a place of confidence, not confusion. Today, we're covering 3 major things that every buyer needs before starting to house hunt. If you stay to the end, you will get your weekly shot of Colorado real estate agent advice. It's something that I use with every client before we ever step into that first showing. So let's start. Okay, you don't need 20% down to buy a home. That old rule stopped being true years ago. Sure, if you have 20% to put down, go for it. That's great. And you'll avoid paying PMI with your mortgage, so your mortgage payment will be lower. But that doesn't mean that you can't buy now just because you haven't saved that large of an amount. There are FHA loans available that accept as little as 3.5% down, conventional loans available that allow 3% down, and there are even VA loans, if you're eligible, that require 0 money down. There's even USDA loans that offer this 0 down in certain areas. So let me tell you what really matters. What is your monthly payment? And what amount will you be comfortable with after you've saved for all your other costs, such as inspection, closing, and possible repairs? I've had clients who thought they'd be stuck renting forever because they couldn't save that full 20%. And then they've learned about these lower money down options, saw what their real payments would look like, and ended up buying much sooner than they expected. So if you're ready to build equity, and riding on the fence won't help unless you're certain that saving more now will make for a smarter investment down the road. And I would say in this market that's a buyer's market, don't wait. So if you've done your mortgage homework, you will be in good shape. Your lender is going to need more than your social security number and your income to help you effectively. So here's what's really going to matter to the lender. Your complete employment picture. Have you been at your job for less than 2 years? Do you work for yourself? Are there any gaps due to layoffs, switching industries, or freelance work? That might affect your loan options. Some lenders really prefer stability, and others are really used to gig economy incomes, and they can work with you. Your actual debts and obligations like car loan, student loan, credit card minimums, they all matter. They all determine your debt to income ratio and how much house you can actually afford and what type of loan you will qualify for. And also your savings. Not just your down payment savings, but after buying, what kind of cushion are you going to have? The lender will be looking at that too. How many endorsed loans fall apart because homeowners overextend themselves? Also, your future life plans. This is a big thing when looking at home shopping. Are you thinking about growing your family? Are you relocating for a first job? Buy less home now so you have flexibility later. That can often make the most sense. If your lender knows this, it will shape the products that they recommend to you. And if you have specific financial goals beyond just the house, are you saving for a kid's college, retiring early? Are you starting a business where you're moving? Whether you go with a 15-year or a 30-year mortgage loan can depend a lot on these larger plans, and a good lender is going to ask you those questions and delve into all of that with you. If your lender hears about your debt, savings, and goals, and you're honest with them, that's when things can really happen. They can help you set expectations and get pre-approved for exactly the right loan product that you need, and you won't be surprised halfway through the contract. So now that we're armed with these financing options and personal details, let's talk about which mortgage is right for you. There's a 30-year fixed rate mortgage that's conventional, usually classic. Also comes FHA variety, predictable payments. It's great if you plan to stay long-term with a low payment, but yes, you will pay more interest over time. 15-year fixed mortgages, you'll pay less interest overall, but you'll build equity a lot faster, and the monthly payments will be noticeably higher. You may want to run both of those scenarios and compare them. You can get an adjustable rate mortgage with an offer that starts at lower payments and a lower interest rates, but those will change, and you want to make sure you can move or refinance within the first couple of years. FHA, VA, and USDA loans are good for low down payments or 0 down, especially when you qualify for the VA or the USDA loans. Keep in mind that about their mortgage insurance and eligibility rules for those ones. Jumbo loans for homes above the conforming limits, which actually is pretty common in Chaffee County, know that they have stricter credit and income requirements. Here's the most crucial part about your personal goals. If you want to minimize your monthly expenses, the 30-year fixed is like the gold standard product. If you want to pay off your home before retirement, 15-year fixed could be better. Think that you might make a big move in 5 years, an ARM may not be a bad thing for you and give you a lot of breathing room so that you're not paying rent, you're building some equity, but the interest rate isn't killing you. There's no one right answer, but there is a right answer for you, and that's what a good lender plus a good realtor team helps you find. So walking into the market without some clarity on down payment, information to give to your lender, and all of these mortgage options could be like grocery shopping without a list. You're setting yourself up to be stressed out. But when you do know your loan options, your potential payment amounts, and what matters to you, every home you walk through becomes a lot easier to evaluate. There's no guesswork in can we afford this? There's just good decision making. If you made it this far, here is your piece of advice for this week. Before you start browsing homes, even online, schedule a time with a lender and a realtor, or several of them. And you might want to talk to them together at the same time. That coordination will help you understand what the lenders will approve and can do for you, what the real estate market realistically looks like for your financial plan. And having both a lender and a realtor on your team early, that's how you give your buying process a head start. You might be thinking, is this the moment I finally have the upper hand as a buyer? Well, good news. Right now, things are looking more favorable for buyers. It's definitely a buyer's market. Inventory is rising, sellers are stepping back a little bit and willing to negotiate, and prices are stabilizing. So today I'm going to walk you through how to buy smart in this evolving 2025 buyer's market. Stay tuned. We'll break down the numbers, the strategy, and a tip that you really need to know before you write your next offer. My name is Jessica Cheriton. I'm a Chaffee County real estate agent, and welcome to my channel. So if you're new here, this is where we talk about real estate, lifestyle, and what it's really like to live, buy, sell, or invest in our Colorado mountain communities, especially Salida, Buena Vista, Poncha Springs, Nathrop, and everywhere along the Highway 50 corridor. Whether you're relocating here, looking to buy locally, you already live here, or just curious about our market, my goal is to help you feel confident and stay informed every step of the way. So let's start with numbers. According to some online data, the median sales price in Chaffee County has only risen by about 3.3% year over year, which puts us at right around $742,000 in July of 2025. At the same time, homes now are taking an average of 50 days on market to sell, some even longer. That's 23 days longer than this time last year. So notably, the sales to list price ratio has also dropped to 97% of list price. Things are selling below asking price, not above it, and we're seeing more price drops. Zillow's home value index confirms this trend as well, showing only a 2.3 appreciation over the past year, with typical homes pending in more than 30 days. So yes, inventory continues to grow. There's more construction that's not moving, and people are regaining some negotiating power as buyers. This looks and acts like a buyer's market. What drives this shift? Well, throughout the pandemic, demand surged and inventory became very thin, and locals and investors alike scrambled to buy quickly. Now some of that urgency has faded and more listings are coming to market and buyers are taking long to choose. And this allows them more choice. Meanwhile, other economic pressures like higher mortgage rates, inflation concerns, a cooling appetite at the luxury end, even markets like Telluride and Vail have slowed down, and there's a lot fewer sales in the $2 million range and a lot fewer listings even of high-end homes. So where once sellers held all the power, now the balance is tilting towards buyers, and well-prepared buyers. It's definitely tilting to them. So what are some steps to take? Well, of course, always I'm going to say get pre-approved, preferably with a local lender. This isn't about you showing that you can borrow. It's about being ready to act quickly and very convincingly, because sellers love that. When inventory is slowly climbing, your offer needs to stand out. Having all of your financials lined up and knowing exactly how much house you qualify for, being able to offer and then close fast are big advantages, even though buyers do have more power. Trust me, when inventory is building but still sensitive, being ready to go can mean the difference between making an offer and actually getting an offer accepted, especially if you're offering below list price. The buyer can be convinced just by your decisiveness. So don't just chase things 20% under asking. Think about location, layout, condition, and the long-term equity potential. As more homes come on the market, sellers who price these things right, those properties are still moving. And doing discounted properties alone may not bring you real and lasting value on your purchase. Make sure the home serves your needs. Look at what upgrades might boost value, whether it matches neighborhood comparables, not just whether it's inexpensive. Your realtor can help you with all of this. Here's the paradox. In a buyer's market, you have a lot more time, which is good. You can do this research, compare listings, and strategize like you couldn't a few years ago. Buildings are selling, communities are still growing, and if you wait too long, you'll lose momentum, and sometimes you will still lose the purchase. So do the research, but don't take forever. Scope out the neighborhoods, test out what it's like to get to the schools, maybe look at it on colder, wetter, snowier days if you have that kind of time, but be ready to move firmly and securely, and buyers, that will give you power. Sellers love that. Homes staying on the market longer also means that sellers are making concessions, and this means inspection timelines, closing costs, handing over personal property like RVs or yard tools or a dog. All of that can be on the table. Don't abuse it. Still be reasonable. It can go a long way in the transaction. If you really lowball an already fair listing, sellers still aren't taking that. And a fair price, a fair offer price, shows that you're serious and can also allow the seller to be more flexible with repairs and negotiations before closing. Chaffee County's real estate market is part of a unique mountain ecosystem. Wildfire risk, floodplains, short-term rental rules, all of these increase value and also make a difference on livability. So don't skip your due diligence. There are a lot of different things for each area. Salida, Buena Vista, and Poncha all have their quirks and their different rules. So you need to be smart about more than price. Consider fire mitigation, local zoning developments, what's happening next week. There's always something changing with those. If you are buying in Chaffee County in 2025, don't just ask what's my price limit, ask what's my break even and hold period, meaning build your plan around how long you expect to own this property. Rising inventory can soften the price growth and budget for that, but it can really make a difference looking at your 5 to 7 year plan. Know your holding costs, your resale leverage, and your refinance potential. So yes, 2025 is a leaner, more flexible market in Chaffee County, and buyers have options again. Homes are definitely sitting longer, and sellers aren't in complete control anymore. So if you're thinking about buying now, let's walk through your strategy, your budget, the neighborhoods you like, and what your offer might look like, and how to protect that value of what you end up buying in the long run. Thanks for watching. If this has helped, hit like, subscribe, and drop a question below. I answer them all. See you in the next one.